So what is my best opening to a sales call? The purpose of a good opening is really just to open a few doors and allow you to have a conversation with the prospect beyond the first 30 seconds. So you really want to hook their attention and their interest. How you can do this is by showing you've done research and by showing that you understand the prospect and the pain points they're probably experiencing. So to do this, you can say, hey, look, I've been on your profile on LinkedIn, I've been on your company website, I can see that you guys do X, Y, and Z. Typically what we find from companies similar to you guys is that you're experiencing X, Y, and Z. Name a few pain points. If they do resonate with the prospect of the pain points, then you can have a conversation about how it's impacted them and how you can help. If they're not experiencing those pain points, they're probably not a prospect worth pursuing anyway, because there's not a problem you can solve in them.
I think the best opening to a sales call would be to just go in with a bit of familiarity. So like they pick up the phone, you're like, oh, hi Dan, this is Rachel calling from Cognism. Like, don't ask if it's them, don't ask to speak to them, just presume that you're speaking to them. And that therefore will make them kind of stop and think and, you know, think about whether you've spoken before, and gives you a few more moments to kind of collect your thoughts, and kind of builds a bit of instant rapport, I guess. And then you have to kind of negotiate from what happens next, whether they're either really rush and want you to just hurry up and tell you what they've called, in which case you have to have a really quick value add and kind of appreciate their time and be like, have you got 30 seconds so that I can explain to you why I've given you a ring? And, you know, if that's not the case and they kind of want to talk about, you know, want to have a laugh, they ask you something funny, you know, how's working from home, what's the weather like, they're American, like what's it like in London, you know, like anything like that. Go in for the chat for as long as you think is appropriate, and then, you know, go in for the kill. But yeah, I think the best way that I find cold calling is just like having a good time, being natural, trying to crack some jokes. They probably get millions of calls a day from like really boring salespeople that are just basically just spieling and trying to add loads of value adds to their current processes. So I think it's just trying to stand out, I guess, and just putting kind of your swing on it to kind of capture them into the conversation.
Ultimately, I don't think that I have the best one. The overarching theme is humour. Opening up that conversation with a bit of a chuckle always makes that conversation go better. In terms of some things that work, sometimes I'll say a line that I'm like, oh God, I'm never using that again. And then I use that exact same line, even though I promised I wouldn't, on someone else, and it works perfectly. You've got to remember that everyone is different, so keep testing, keep trialing new things, and keep trying to improve.
My best opening to sales call is, as I mentioned earlier, saying something like, hey Joe, is now a bad time to talk? Typically, most people will say no. They're always on hand to try and help you out, unless it's really a bad time. And even if it is a bad time, they'll typically give you a time to reconnect with them, as you have given them that out earlier on in the call.